So why don't we go ahead and get started? It is about 3 minutes after, according to my time. So thanks, everybody. Again, this is the Kubeflow community call. The call is being recorded. It is governed by the Kubeflow Code of Conduct. And the first item on the agenda is an update on the release day update from Ricardo. Ricardo, are you there and available?
Thank you, Josh. Give me one last minute to add up another last bullet here. Uh, okay, so for 1.9 updates, we had the release team meeting yesterday after the KubeCon. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the KubeCon updates. Not sure if Andrew is already here, but I I feel like the KubeCon was good for Kubeflow, but focusing on the 1.9 releases, updates, we're making good progress for the 1.9 release. Let's not forget that the April 15th will be the feature freeze. So for all the working group liaisons that are present in this meeting, if you feel like there's something that should be raised immediately, don't forget to ping me directly or ping Stefano, who's the product manager for Kubeflow 1.9. I'm still confident that we'll be able to bring a lot of good features for 1.9. There's one yellow flag that I'm just adding here. Um, it's that yesterday I noticed that the Kubeflow pipeline team release 210. Why I think it's a yellow flag. They brought this release without any previous announcement, and the features we are expecting to have for Kubeflow pipelines are not there yet. So I need to talk with Chensun, who is the component maintainer for Kubeflow pipelines, to see if there's still time for feature freeze to release another version of Kubeflow pipelines that covers all the features we're planning for Kubeflow 1.9. Otherwise, we need to figure out another plan to add these features or just unfortunately drop the features if needed. That's it for the 1.9 updates. For 1.8.1, as I announced it in previous meetings, we just released RC0 that contains kserve and no and pipelines updates. We still need a final decision on what to do with the notebooks issues, but at this point, RC0 needs some feedback from community to see if it's ready to go GA. So please, if anyone is testing or already updated to 1.8.1, feel free to let me know on Slack if RC0 has any bug fixes or if it looks good, so we can plan for the 1.8.1 GA. One last topic I'd like to bring to the community. Um, I like to bring this topic to about the release updates for this meeting, but I'd like to propose to move those release updates to the Kubeflow Discuss mailing list. The advantage to do this is, like I posted here, reaches a wider audience. So people are, I think there's more people in Kubeflow Discuss mailing list than in the community meetings. So for all the announcements for the releases will reach us way more people using the mailing list instead of the community meeting. And it also saves some time for the community meeting to discuss about other topics that could be more interesting for the users and the community. So I'd like to ask the community, what do you think about this? If we make the decision to move to Kubeflow Discuss, mainly solve the release updates, I can do this for the next week if possible. I think that's it. So looking forward for you to give me feedback on the 181 RC0 and a proposal to send the release updates to the Kubeflow Discuss mailing list.
I think sending it to the mailing list is a good idea, but I also feel like that a lot of the active people join this call. So can it be an and, not an or? Like, can we high level here, but put the details, on the mailing list? But I don't think we need to drop it off of this call completely.
Yeah, that looks like a good option, Amber. Not transitioning from one or another, or maybe use both. For that, I can do this immediately. Like for the next release meeting, I can after that already send the announcements for the Kubeflow mailing list. I think for dropping to the community meeting is just maybe we spend some more time on the release updates, and there are other topics that it's also important for the community. So it's just a proposal to see if maybe dropping the release updates to the community meeting will give the community more time to discuss about other important topics as well.
Yeah, and then what we could do, like you said, like shorten it to here just to the highlights, put the details on them to Kubeflow Discuss, and when you send it to Kubeflow Discuss, I can pick it up and then share it from our Kubeflow LinkedIn, and as soon as we get the Twitter stuff figured out, we can share it there as well. So I think if you could do that, then I can pick it up and share it from our other places.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, I don't know, what does anybody else think?
From my perspective, minimizing the amount of work for the release team is important. Creating an update weekly takes some work. Sometimes it's harder to do that in writing than it is to do it verbally. But if you're going to do it in writing, do it once and reuse it everywhere if you're going to reuse it anywhere, right? I like having an update here only because it prods people and reminds them to do things. I have some specific questions about 1.9.
Go for it.
So we're 3 weeks away, right, from feature freeze.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Are we on track? I was not on the last notebooks working group meeting. Are we on track with the notebooks team?
So there's not much. I mean, there's not updates at all on anything about notebooks. There wasn't even any proposal for bug fixes for 1.9. And given they are still struggling with fixing bugs for 1.81, I don't believe notebooks will have any meaningful updates for Kubeflow 1.9. That's unfortunate, but I understand that the situation with the notebooks working group is that there's lack of contributors as for now, and I'm working internally at Red Hat to have more people contributing with the notebooks and not get mentally overwhelmed with so many tasks for notebooks. But I don't believe this will make it until feature freeze from Kubeflow 1.9. Maybe it is a midterm contribution, a midterm plan.
Okay. I'd call that a jeopardy, but fine. I think the steering committee this needs to be raised up to the steering committee and just acknowledged, right, at a minimum, that 1.9 will have few, if any, bug fixes for notebooks and no new features for notebooks. That's kind of the plan at this point.
Yeah, I think there are some things to discuss. I'd like to raise that for steering committee if possible. It looks like notebooks and Kubeflow are have different situations where it's not I would say it's not yet prepared for following the overall Kubeflow dates. Each one with their special cases. But if it's possible for me to briefly discuss with the steering committee, I'd like to raise those concerns and come up with a possible plan to work around these issues.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay. Well, you're doing a great job. This has been fantastic, all the updates. Anybody else have any comments on the 1.9 or 1.8.1 releases? Okay. I think we're good to move on to the next item unless, Ricardo, you got anything else before we move on?
No, I'm good. Just an off topic. I think you should add the KubeCon updates back to the meeting notes. That I believe we have enough people to discuss about it.
Put it down here below. I took it off because there weren't anybody there, but we'll go through these other two items. I don't think they're going to take a huge amount of time. So, Alex, you wanted to talk about the Cubo addition to the distribution list?
Yes, thank you. So Matt had an idea because I don't have a fully packaged solution, which I didn't understand at the beginning. I thought one of the conditions to be part of the list is to satisfy the requirements as a software component, a little bit like CNCF or Kubernetes distributions. But that's okay. And he had an idea to put it under manifest, and they're just waiting for approval on comment 3672. As part of the distribution that support the raw manifest.
Yeah, I was thinking about this myself, and we wanted to bring this up and talk about it inside the steering committee last week, but because of KubeCon, I think we didn't get a steering committee meeting put together. But the piece that I had on this was, if I remember, Matthew was saying that you had to use manifest. I didn't completely agree with that proposal from Matthew. Again, Matthew has good ideas and proposals, but I think that my question about distribution support probably went more to what is the support that's actually coming from the organization that's supporting the distribution rather than the technology that's used, whether it's using customize and manifest to do the deployment or other.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Just one comment there, Josh. So when you think about CNCF, certified distributional Kubernetes, that's exactly what you said. Is you guarantee that the software runs on your platform and you will have support for it, right? So the goal is, independent of the deployment, is each feature of Kubeflow is able to function correctly in platform X, and is there support for it, right? I thought that was the goal of this, distribution list or certification. Of course, we're working for all the details, but is that my correct understanding, or this is something that I didn't get right?
I don't think that we have had a definitive distribution description to that level. And so Matthew's kind of proposal hashed out his kind of view, and mine may be a little bit alternative. I think we need to discuss this.
So Josh, so we had a discussion with a couple of CNCF folks around this, around the conformance testing guidelines and recommendations. CNCF more broadly is trying to advise open source communities in establishing these conformance testing guidelines. And we opened a template issue in Kubeflow community. You should see that it's probably the last one. So I think that's a discussion that's coming, and we'll have to evaluate with CNCF what is the best practice and how that adapts to our community.
Because the other thing I can do, Josh, I mean, I can take a manifest and make it my own and maintain it, because I have seen what everyone is doing is just taking manifest and they just basically commit to do a couple of modifications, they maintain it. I don't think that's the best way to do it based on the CNCF certification, which is actually goes more into is feature X, PC in Kubeflow supporting this platform, is feature A, B, C, and this do testing based on that.
You're exactly
so that,
right.
I think that's the goal.
What you're describing is exactly the conformance testing guidelines that we've been discussing about. So yes, we don't have that in place. We do want to put that in place, but it's a discussion that hasn't started yet. So to your point, yes, distributions currently just take their own manifests. They just claim whatever they want to claim, that support version X, but there's no official procedure to do that just yet.
Right, and what I did, I took a raw manifest, which is actually upstream, because the idea for me is something that the community provides I'm able to support as a platform. That was my thinking. So I take something from upstream without any change, and I make sure I adapt the platform to run that, which is a raw manifest. So that was my understanding of this for now. So is that enough, right? For now, I know it's going to be testing, but for now, I guarantee that you go and you do git clone from the repository, right? And you have a raw manifest and means provided by the community, and it works on my platform. I can take it and maintain it, but I don't think that will be over time the way to go. But I guarantee, and I provide support with upstream 1.7 and 1.8, that if you take that piece of software, you run it, it works with GPU and all the, as far as I test myself, works with Kubeflow. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. And to your point, this is not the way for us to scale moving forward. So take a look at the last Kubeflow community issue. If you want to monitor that discussion, we'll be starting soon our conformance testing kind of journey with CNCF. And so, if you want to speak up and contribute there, it'll be great. Because we'll be defining those guidelines. Okay.
Happy to help you with Sonoboy. I'm pretty familiar. I mean, Kubo is CNCF certified, so I'm familiar with those procedures. Okay. Right?
Awesome.
That said, for now, because this is what we have, is any chance for us either to put a distribution or the raw manifest? Because I know we don't have a strict guideline, but at least I'm providing videos and support, and people had to run with GPU support with NVIDIA, with full instructions and support from Kubo how to run Kubeflow, right, from the latest distribution. And also Kubo is going to be part of the 1.9 testing.
Yeah, and I think for me, as a distribution, as long as you have some form of statement somewhere that says what your support is, I think that's valuable. There's other people that have hands here. Amber, is anybody else have their hand up?
Yeah, so just to echo what Stefano said, George Castro, who works at CNCF, came to me and asked, would we be willing to work really hard between now and Salt Lake to get a conformance testing in place, and they have the resources to help us. So I know that Ricardo and Stefano talked to one guy, and I'm talking with George and the other person that's over the conformance stuff for the CNCF. So I think right now, Alex, like it's kind of the Wild West, like on our definition. So you're in line with what I think your thought process is spot on. But I think as we start digging into the conformance testing, and basically they're going to help us, like they'll help us with things like our trademark policies and things like that. And make sure that whatever we do on the conformance side, our definitions are solid and that we have a process in place. So the goal is to have that before Salt Lake, if we can pull it off. So just to echo what Stefano said.
Yeah, that makes sense. All I'm looking at is to be honest, it's just a little bit of visibility on Cubo and Kubeflow, and work with you on any process you want to do, including CNCF. I mean, happy to participate and help you with that, right? I'm pretty familiar with the process. All I was looking is to have like, part of the distribution like anyone else, either the distribution or the manifest, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I think, in my opinion, and this is one man's opinion, I think you've stated what you're going to do. If you had it in writing, it'd be better and make it more helpful for me to support this position. But I think, you have fulfilled enough to be considered a distribution for now, right? May change in the future, but for now, and I don't think that we should hold you off until we get through the conformance discussion. So that's going to be my position. To help me with that, if you could define what your support is going to be in writing somewhere, that would be helpful.
I did, Josh, when you asked last time, so I can send you the link again. But I did the support, and that was one of your concerns.
Perfect. So I think we've covered this, and
Can I add 2 cents? Sorry, Josh, can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I understand that Matthew added another comment on your PR, Alex. But I think what we should do, we should just merge your PR. It's like Josh said, because we still don't have clear guidelines for most of the distributions, what they should do, because he already kind of gave us enough support and visibility around the project. And I think Josh, unless other steering committee members don't have a strong objections to move this forward, we should just merge it. At least how I can say about it.
Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it.
2 out of 5. We need a plural. We need one more to get it done, but we'll discuss it, and we can put it onto your PR that you have, or try to approve that. Put the +1s on your PR. Might be helpful to put your PR.
So my role this year, maybe we can do it even today or tomorrow, and I can just, if we have 3 more votes from steering committee, we can just merge it. Other changes we can do in the follow-up first. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Andre. Anyone else on this before we move on to the update on Helm chart from Roman? All right, I'm going to move forward unless, Andre, do you have your hand up again, or is it the old hand? Okay.
No, I'm good. Let's move on. Thank you, Josh.
Roman?
Yes, thank you, Josh.
Okay.
So two comments, or maybe updates. So first, as you have probably seen, I put a comment with information and some quick start scripts on the GitHub Kubeflow issue for Helm chart. So please have a look, please comment and provide some feedback if you like. I already saw a few thumbs ups, and I think this is also pretty nice. And also one comment from Alex was around there. Sorry, I didn't reply yet. I'm going to reply today. And the other part of my update is, so I want to share a little bit background, what is happening within my company and what timelines it can provide to the open source. So first point is that it was decided in my team that the upgrade to 1.8 should be done with the Helm chart already. So it is not yet finished, but the plan is to have it finished within a month, if time allows. And within that time, I expect it to be ready both for production use and basically to have it available as to accept into Kubeflow umbrella if it will be accepted. I understand this is still need to be aligned. The target version, as mentioned, is 1.8, and once we are there, and once this Helm chart is like fully ready for production, I think then we can also see where we are around the 1.8.1 and 1.9.0 releases to align how we will continue the work. This is not question if we will continue the work, because myself and my company, we do want to do that. We do want to continue. So it's more about the alignment. I think that's about it. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask.
We have a couple hands up, Alex.
Hi, yeah, I'm also on the issue, but yeah, I was here the other week because I've been working on a Kubeflow distribution, so somewhat relevant to the discussion with other Alex. But yeah, I was just saying to Roman on the issue that I think like a lot of people have been hoping for a Helm chart like this, and the main question now is how we make this option potentially sort of general availability, or what the path is to that for potential Kubeflow users. And yeah, on my side, Roman, I'd be interested in potentially integrating with this. So keen to just follow on and however you and your company want to do that.
Great, thank you very much for that comment. I'm looking forward to having this Helm chart as part of your distribution. Cool.
Is there any generic implementation with this Helm chart that could be demonstrated?
Yes, in the GitHub issue I just mentioned, you have 3 scripts that can streamline the installation for you. One is using pure Helm chart. So within the script, it will call Helm install multiple times for all of the dependencies. So Istio, Cert Manager, Meta Controller, whatever, auth proxy, and then also deploy Kubeflow with this Helm chart. There is also alternative using Argo CD, which also uses a script that does basically the same with some kubectl wait commands until some dependencies are ready. And there is also a third script that uses Argo CD app of apps pattern with sync waves, which basically is if you have Argo CD installed and configured for sync waves for applications, this is one manifest that can bring it all. And considering that, this is already something you can test out. Not every component is included. I mentioned in the comment in the issue that, for example, the admission webhook for pod defaults or Katib or PVC viewer is not included, but the most important components like the central dashboard, Jupyter Web App and Notebooks controller, the pipelines, profile controller, and the integration manifests with the dependencies are there. So it is available to test.
Have you ever recorded that workflow anywhere?
No, not yet. That I can record and provide.
I don't want to give you extra work. I'm just saying if you're going to test it one time and you can record it and walk it through, I think it would help give you more exposure. I would definitely watch it. How long does that process typically take?
If you have container images on your nodes, like 3 to 5 minutes. If you don't have, maybe 8 minutes. Because the script will also go through the dependencies and ensure all of the dependencies are there. The fastest deployment time is with the app of apps, and I reached one time it was 3 minutes and it was all deployed and available.
Well, that's a great expectation and data point. So I appreciate you giving us that update.
Great. I will keep you updated, and maybe just one question. Let's say I will record the deployment. Where would you expect me to put it?
Well, let's ask our social media director, CMO, that question. Hey, Amber, have you received any updates on being able to get into social media?
Well, we're into LinkedIn, and I met with David Aronchek, and he said to ask, and which is what I put in the I think message to you all. So Jeremy Levy with his Google email address, they need to reopen that so we can send a forgot password and they can reset it from there. So as soon as they've I guess brought back up Jeremy's old, email, we can recover the Twitter account. YouTube right now, I think we'll have to get it, let Matthew put it on wherever he puts all the videos until we can get that account recovered. But we're a step closer than we have been, and at least we have one account, so if we can get Matthew to put it on wherever he puts the meetings in YouTube for right now, and then we can share it out at least via LinkedIn, and then while we work on the other stuff.
So with that, I assume I should just record, put this on YouTube and send you a link, or send you a video directly.
You can send me the link once you have it there, and then we can see if Matthew can cross post wherever he posts the meetings at.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Yep, happy to do that.
Okay, and just so there's not confusion, Amber, I don't know that we formally gave you a title or something, but you were set up as administrator, the LinkedIn administrator, is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And as soon as we get the other stuff, we'll put it in the vault, and in case I get hit by a bus or win the lottery. So we're still working on getting the other stuff.
Okay. Anything else there on the social media access? YouTube still unknown, basically, right?
Yeah, YouTube and Twitter. At least we've narrowed down the email address for Twitter, and now we can.
Also, sorry, this is Alex from Cube. I have two videos of full installation with NVIDIA GPU and Kubeflow. I don't know if that's a place where to put them that I produced.
Yes, if you'll send me the link, I can share it out.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Josh, we are seeing an uptick on the number of people that are visiting now the Kubeflow LinkedIn. I think I was seeing on average of about 30 new views a day, because we were posting daily, several times a day, while we were at KubeCon. So it is working. Now if we can just get the rest of it, access to it, we can cast a wider net.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, well, I think it'll be great. Now we can just start to promote everything there.
Yep.
I think it's going to make things a lot more smooth for the community. I appreciate that. Okay. KubeCon. Any updates on KubeCon? How do we want to do this?
Well, I can start with a general overview, and then everybody else can weigh in on their pieces and parts. We had a great showing for Kubeflow Summit. I think at our highest point, we probably had about 200 people in the room. We had lots of folks engage, especially some of the user stories. CERN had their user story, PepsiCo, and others who now want to be more involved. So that was great. We had the morning shift at the booth in the project pavilion. And it was amazing. We had lots of great traffic, and we didn't burn anybody out, because in the mornings we had the morning shift, and then everybody could go to sessions or have meetings, catch up on work, whatever, in the afternoons. So it gave people time, because we did have a limited number of people who were, helping staff the booth, but and it was great. Andre had demos. Stefano was there to give demos. Chase was there. Chase's course on Kubeflow launched. They announced it the morning of the first morning of KubeCon. So there is a Kubeflow based course that you can sign up for. It'll be in the summary blog for that. We got a lot of folks coming up. Matter of fact, I got a couple emails this morning for folks wanting to get involved. So it worked. We did have a great, great turnout. We also got mentioned in the keynotes on Wednesday morning, I believe. I think Andre can go more into that. But between his demo, the shout out that we got in the keynote, the announcement of the course, we are going to have a bigger presence in Salt Lake. And then they're also including, I don't know if any of you saw the children's book that Ericto donated, but they are now including the kitten, that the character of the kitten that we donated, and that they'll be offering the book in the store in Salt Lake. And then we also got asked to participate in the conformance program that they're doing. So all in all, it was a great event. I've also went ahead and requested that we have a full day event in Salt Lake with a backup to OSS Summit in Vienna in September. And then the KubeCon North America will be in November. So I've already requested that we have space. So I think we're chugging right along. Andre, Ricardo, Stefano, what do you guys have to say about it?
Yeah, just a quick thing I'd like to comment. I feel like this KubeCon, it was my first KubeCon, by the way, but I felt that Kubeflow was a hot topic across the KubeCon talks. We had the opportunity to see people mention about our Kubeflow roadmap on a keynote. We see people talking about their use cases using Kubeflow. And like Amber said, our attendance in the Kubeflow booth was amazing. I had a lot of feedback, especially on the roadmap for Kubeflow. So that's great. We're in everyone's mouth. So people are talking about Kubeflow a lot. So I feel like this is amazing. We're doing a great job, and we're on track on making this a great project.
The other thing that we found out, we asked the question how people in the audience were getting their Kubeflow, whether it was from distributions or whether it was from manifests, and probably 70% of the audience that raised their hand said they got it straight from our manifests, not from a distribution. So that was enlightening, and that they were on-prem, using it on-prem, not in a hybrid cloud environment. So those were 2 points that came out of just interacting with the audience that was there. Andre? Or
Yeah,
Stefano?
can you hear me well? Sorry,
Yep.
my network could be not
Yep.
good here. Yeah, so several things. Like, first of all, thank you very much so much for helping us, and because you've done an amazing job for organizing all the summits and conversation on Kubeflow. Also, thank you to you, Ricardo, Stefano, other folks who participated in the booth and the summit. It was great to see you all in person, and helping communities to grow. So I can say several things. So I've been in the KubeCon for I think last 6 years. So from my past experience, this is one of the largest, Kubeflow presence in these KubeCons. First of all, because we contributed a lot in the Ciencia Working API white paper. And so we tried to tell everyone in the Ciencia that, hey, we've been doing this for the last 6 years. We have a lot of knowledge to contribute to bring cloud native AI community more closer. So this is one of the main topic at the first keynote when they started to announce several things. Also, like as Amber said, like during the keynote session, they kind of like show our survey from 2022, if I remember correctly, and they said in the keynote that users require model registry. Right now, I have model registry, so we see more and more promotion from CNCF side on the Kubeflow project, and I can say this is the good sign, like from us to be more kind of on the front page of AML on Kubernetes, basically. Yeah, and the summit was amazing. Like we, as Amber said, we have like so many attendees there. I think we need the full day event, and I hope like Salt Lake City will give us this opportunity because we haven't had a lot of time to speak about other topics as well. So we have just a half day event. And overall, like I saw, in addition to PepsiCo and CERN, I saw some end user stories on the main stage of KubeCon. Like I saw some talks from, if I remember correctly, DHL and other companies who also like say they're using Kubeflow in production for large scale training, serving, and other parts of my life cycle, and they see the potential of moving forward. And we all starting to do some collaboration with other communities like a PyTorch, Hugging Face, another ML communities in the industry to say like, hey, if you want to run your framework on Kubernetes, we can help you, right? So it's a good thing, and I'm looking forward to see what we can do in Salt Lake City. And also, I think we will prepare some blog posts and announcements soon. So once I get back to London, we can discuss more how we can make a proper announcement for the broader community, right? It's make this more visible for everyone else who hadn't got a chance to attend. Yeah, I think that's it for me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Well,
I
this
think
is
that's
really,
it, Josh.
this is really great. So we had a half day event. We had 200 people in the room. We got a lot of feedback. In any of the shows, the tough part is kind of gathering all the different data points that everybody heard and somehow assimilating them and giving some type of update. I know, perhaps we'll get that done, but then using that to try to push the ball forward for Salt Lake to raise the bar even higher. And I think that it's just fantastic that, we've continued to build this momentum. So thank you to everyone who went out of their way. Amber, especially to you, but I'm sure that there were others that you'd like to shout out to for their support.
Yeah, so we had Canonical and Red Hat as our official sponsors. Red Hat was a diamond sponsor, Canonical is gold. And then on behalf of the project, we sponsored the session recordings. So shout out to all those. And then in the booth, we had Yuan, we had Ricardo, we had Andre, we had Chase Christensen, Stefano, we had I think I'm missing somebody, one of the other folks who just became a maintainer in pipelines. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but had them. We had Julius was there, Diana was there. Who else was there? I think that's
Kimonos as well, right?
Yeah, Kimonos too. We found Kimonos. He's going to be re-engaging, by the way. So and Kimonos was there. So we had a really good turnout. Also Jeremy Eater from Red Hat also gave their little sponsor keynote. So that was great to have him there. And then oh yeah, I'll send pictures of the ones I got. But it was just a really good turnout. So if we get approved for Salt Lake, either for a half day or a whole day event, just keep this in the back of your minds. I'll need 10 people to help be on like the the speaker committee to go through all the talks that are submitted. So if that interests you, please let me know. And I'll be asking again as it gets closer because we'll need some volunteers.
Fantastic. All right. That's great stuff. That's great stuff. Thank you, Amber. Again, if there's more updates on KubeCon next week, glad to put it back on to the calendar. I think that, now that you've set the bar, 200 people, half-day event, having the booth, it will just make it maybe not easier, but at least it gives you something to point at for the next one, right? And gives us a process of how we do these things. So
I think just to add last thing from my side, just to give everyone visibility, it was the largest KubeCon ever. So they have 12,000 people who actually attended this conference. So basically, we like 12,000 people were aware of Kubeflow. I think even more will be aware when they saw recordings. So the presence was huge, just like in addition to the summit by itself.
that's great. That's fantastic. Okay. I do want to get to another item, if that's okay, which is the Kubeflow user survey. I don't know, Stefano, are you still here? I think we lost him. Maybe he wasn't here. But I don't know whether the folks on, have seen that there is a new Kubeflow user survey available now for 2024. These have been a good way for us to gather feedback to give to the contributors. And I think that the questions are pretty much fully formed. Was Stefano using it at the summit?
Yeah, we had a QR code, and we would mention it several times during the summit, and then we mentioned it from the booth as well. And I know people were scanning it and taking a look at it, because we stressed everybody we can't make it better. Like, we know some stuff is broken, but we can't read your mind, so please let us know. And so I know that people were filling out the survey and giving feedback. And then I plan on putting it in the summary blog post this week to also, get it back out in front of everybody as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's these are a little bit an art to get people to respond. I think the highest number of respondents we've had is like 180. I think last year we got about 100. I don't know how many we have so far, but if everybody can go and try to get a few people to respond, and they can tell 2 people, then we can probably push the ball forward a little bit. And I just think it's very helpful for us to get the feedback from the users in the user survey. So anyway, we have the link. We should put it on here and just keep promoting it everywhere and get it out and get it going. Okay. Any other items, as we've got 10 minutes left? We don't have to hold everybody. We can finish early for once, but
Hey, Josh, what were the dates you want to get that survey ready for?
well, it should be available for users to answer now. The real question is, how long do you leave it open for? If you leave it open too long, people drag their feet. If you open it too short, then perhaps you miss some people. But I would think that no later than the end of April, but I would hope that we would probably try to get this done by, April 15th or something like that. Go ahead, Ricardo.
Yeah, just a comment about the new user survey. Our plan is to do this by phases. So phase 1 will be pretty much collecting users' profile about What's your role in Kubeflow? Are you a builder? Are you a consumer? And after that, we're gonna release another survey with that can be set as the phase 2, where collect more about users' expectations of the Kubeflow project. No dates yet for when phase 2 will start or phase 1 is going to finish. Maybe Stefano has some dates in mind. Let's see if we can update this for in the next community meeting.
I mean, even just having the plan written down would be great. Even this Google Doc, or throw it on the Kubeflow discuss list.
James, you have a comment?
Right. If we have finished about the user survey discussion, I just have a quick question about the project onboarding from Kubeflow to CNCF. So there's an item for the artwork. So we need to upload the Kubeflow logo to CNCF repository. I think Amber is the one who is taking this work.
Yep.
I'm just trying to see, like, do you need any help or any progress we can share?
I got to put it in a very specific vector format. Like, I don't think what we have ours in, I just got to convert it. So I have everything except the specific vector file they need. So I just have to convert that. I can try to get that done by next week.
Yes, I think that sounds great. Yeah, thank you so much, Amber.
Yep. What I'll do is I'll just put it in the I'll put it in our logos file and then share it out that way to them so they can take it from there.
Right. I think you just need to create a PR.
Yeah.
Submit to their local repository, and then I think that will be it. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks for reminding me. I got caught up with Kubeflow Summit.
Yeah, I know. That's more important. No problem. I'm just like following up on that after vacation, and also we are getting very close to finishing up all the remaining items of CNCF transition, and hopefully they can unblock the remaining step. For example, like if we want to graduate a Kubeflow project.
Perfect.
All right, I think that's pretty much it for today. We're about at time. So, anything else before we close out today?
Just quick sort of new question from me. I'm interested in what's going on with the Spark on Kate's operator. I know there's an issue of them donating it, but I'm really curious about what it means for it to be joining Kubeflow. And so just curious if there's anyone I can chat with offline about that.
Maybe I can quickly take it. So you can reach out to me on Slack. I have the same name and surname and Kubeflow Slack or CNCF Slack. So we preparing the blog post for all Spark Operator customers using the Spark Operator in production. So right now the new home for Spark Operator is Kubeflow. It's been a long process communicating with multiple people. So I think please reach out to me from Slack. And at the same time, we will prepare a blog post, I think in a couple of weeks, probably.
Right, thanks, Andre.
So before, yeah, no worries.
Keen to read it. Cheers.
All right, one more question. Go ahead.
Yeah, Josh, hi, Matteo here from Model Registry. Just want to give a quick update concerning the progress. So we are progressing on the item checklist on Model Registry for the 1.9 as identified by the release team. So special spotlight for adding test support for the manifest check, cross-checking with the version that they ask from the matrix, for as well as we have an initial draft of the documentation that was discussed. We will have a bi-weekly meeting as usual next Monday. So I invite everyone to participate to that meeting. I also want to thank Andre for the Docker token. So now we are just running the CI. So eventually, in coordination with the release team and as needed, we can see when is the best time to cut a pre-alpha release or like a 0.x alpha release as needed. Finally, we received a comment for, I believe that there is an interest in that emerged during the Kubeflow Summit and KubeCon for some folks that are more on the OCI artifacts, kind of like camp. And they were wondering the integration with model registry. I think this is a case that we can discuss integration for these two words. The best place, in my opinion, will be to have that in the bi-weekly meeting for model registry, but as well maybe in this community once we sort of like flushed out a few of the rough corner with the initial brainstorming. So there is that, and yeah, so that is something that also I think speaks to the Josh, your suggestion that you were saying about the use cases, because I think that maybe we can highlight how the two things can integrate for like a quick 5 bullet point of use case integration of model registry. And that is all for model registry working. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you. Okay, we're at time, so I'm going to close it out. Thanks everybody for joining today, and I'll look forward to we look forward to seeing you going forward. Have a good week.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Bye
Have
now.
a great week.
Thank you.